Right. Well, it's been a week since I've been able to stream this with my new stream schedule here. So in the past week, when I've been dying to play the game, I at least got to do a ton of experimenting. So I have a lot of stuff to discuss. I have this list that I wrote out, so it's easier um, to go through things, make it more concise and all that. There's new skills I have. The best part is it's still the same gameplay wise, still the same build in the sense, again, the playstyle is the same, there's just new enhancements to it. But I have some understandings both with my abilities and just game mechanics, so let's just kind of bang some of this stuff out. Kicked Butcher's butt for me earlier. Yes, nice. He's getting squishier as you get more OP gear. Nice, yeah. Butcher seems like a fun thing to potentially farm. Obviously it's RNG, but with the good drops and all that, it might be something that's kind of fun to do. I know, trying to connect the story again. It's going to suck, but Zelda should be being beat relatively soon. I'll see. I still might change it, but for now I'm going to try the schedule. So first things first, when I ended, I just hit 37. And as you can see right now, I'm already 80% to 38. I genuinely did not really do anything. I was just testing new skills. I wasn't farming enemies. I wasn't doing dungeons. I literally just walked out and was testing skills. And I got so much experience, which means I'm going to have to turn the world tier down. We have to go to world tier 1 just so I get less experience. We've discussed this, the negatives to leveling up too fast before you beat the campaign. I lose the extra gold, which shouldn't matter. We're not getting a lot. Enemies will come easier. That kind of sucks, but I'm getting just so much experience doing nothing. There's no way we don't hit 50 super early, so I have to downgrade the world tier, sadly. But if I find out that we're pushing through the story quickly and I'm not leveling, I can always raise it back up. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and lower that down. Alright, so some core game things that I learned. I learned about gear power levels and the tiers. So obviously you can upgrade your gear, and there's different tiers of gear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as you level up and get stronger, the gear goes to different tiers. So I know what those levels are, and the reason that matters is because, let me just use an example of what a level is. Let's see. Oh, well, okay, that one's not perfect. I probably have high stuff here. We'll use this one as an example. So I have to turn this compare on. You see that this dagger, the item power level is 305. So every time I upgrade it, it will give me, extra stat increases, whatever, 0.1%, whatever it may be, while also increasing the power level. But if you get to the next tier of weapons, which in this case is at item power level 340, it will be a huge increase. So rather than getting a minor increase every time you upgrade it, if you go into the next tier, it'll cost the same amount as a minor increase, but it will actually be a huge percentage amount. I can't show it off because I don't think I'd be able to get that, and nothing else is close to it. But basically, it's just a small thing that won't affect me right now, but long term, if I find a piece of gear that, in this instant, if there's a piece of gear at level 330, it's 100% worth upgrading it to get to 340, because it's going to be a huge increase for a very small price. So there are tiers to your gear. It's not just required levels, which you see down there. It's actually the item power level. Makes sense, but I found out what those levels were. So that's something small, but nice to know. Something really important I learned, though, and what we're going to start doing right now, is using gems. Obviously, we all know what gems are, but what I didn't know is when you use a gem on a piece of equipment, and then you dismantle that equipment, you get the gem back for free. So there is a way to get the gem back and pay for it. That gives you the gem and the item, and it's very expensive to do that. So I didn't want to use gems because I was like, alright, I want to keep these gems, use them when I need them, end game stuff, because I didn't want to pay to have to get the gem back. But again, if you slot a gem into a piece of equipment, and then you're done with that equipment, whatever, 2 hours later, and you trash it, you get the gem back for free. So there is literally no reason not to use gems. At least, while you're leveling up. Way, 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 way later, when you do want to make that choice, oh, do I want to wait for a better gem, etc. Okay. But for now, 100% use gems, because even if I use a gem on this whatever ring, and then I immediately get a better ring, who cares? Because I'll just trash the ring and get the gem back for free. So, it's pretty awesome. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Although I think in this specific instance, I said the ring. This ring I don't want a gem, because this ring I want to potentially use to get that legendary aspect on. So that's like the only thing to pay attention to, is if there's something I eventually don't want to trash. In this case, I potentially want to hold that for the aspect. So that one I won't put it on, but everything else I can slot something free in there. So we're going to go ahead and get crit damage to vulnerable enemies. Put that there, and put that there. And if I get a better bow, who cares? I will trash this bow and get that jewel right back. No problem. For my armor, there's not too many things I necessarily care about, honestly. Either thorns or damage reduction while crowd controlled. As much as thorns sounds cool, we'll talk about this again. There's a lot to talk about. I kind of need the damage reduction when crowd controlled for the time being, because that's going to be a very weak spot for me at the moment. So I'm going to take this. We'll get that. Okay. Happen to get the obols. You can get some keys. Yes, I have some keys. Yep. That's why I spent that on my first group of obols. I still have 5 keys. I'm going to make sure I always have a bunch of keys on me. And finally, this ring is okay to trash if we don't need it, so we'll go ahead and put something on that. And I'm going to get armor. Yeah, 125 armor. Wow, that gave me 3% DR. So that one jewel gave me 3% resistance. Hell yeah. Cool. So, we didn't have too many slots. Again, I'm not slotting this because this is something I actually will destroy. Or won't destroy, I'll say. But there you go. Always use your gems. There is very little reason to save them while you're doing the campaign and stuff. Because, again, once you trash the item, you get the gem back for free. Cool. So that is the, 2 game mechanic thingies that I found out about. Skull on rings and amulet is OP. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, because that 125, like I said, it gave me 3% physical damage reduction for just one of them. So that's pretty awesome. I can't wait to use that. So, before we talk about the new skills, because there's a lot of things to discuss when I was looking into that, the last thing I want to talk about is my key passive, what the hell it's called here, my keystone, where again, every time I get a crit, it gives me a stack of extra crit damage to the point that I eventually get a guaranteed crit. So, I said I wanted to watch back the video to see how often that was proccing and whatnot, and yes, it does proc. Again, because I weave basic attacks and barrage, roughly every 3 or so of those weaves, I build up a stack every 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 barrages gives me a guaranteed crit, which is what even better than I expected, really. But the interesting thing, there's 2 things here. One good, one bad. The good thing is, again, the way Barrage works, so this counts with Lucky Chance as well. With Lucky Chance in particular, Lucky Chance is per arrow shot. Barrage shoots 5 arrows. Each arrow has a 16% Lucky Chance hit. Now, I don't know about ricochets. I can't really test it that exclusively. But with Lucky Chance, each arrow counts as its own hit. In terms of at least this keystone, the guaranteed crit, it's the opposite. And this is good. If I get a guaranteed crit, and I use Barrage, every single arrow is guaranteed to crit. So it's actually the best of both worlds. Lucky chance is per arrow. Guaranteed crit is every arrow. So even though they're two opposites, one thing is per arrow, one thing is just a total skill, both things are the best case scenarios. So I found that out when I was watching the video back. If I get precision to give me a guaranteed crit, when I use Barrage, all 5 arrows will guarantee crit. So that's awesome. The downside to that is, reading this skill, it says marksman skills are what guaranteed hit. Well, again, we'll talk about why I'm using Caltrops. Caltrops isn't a marksman skill, that's good. Poison Trap's not a marksman skill. Imbuments aren't marksman skills. Okay. So that means Barrage is one skill that I can proc that on. But unfortunately, it also means my basic attack I can proc that on. So there is a chance, and it happens pretty decently, that I build up these stacks, I get a guaranteed crit, and I end up guaranteed critting with my basic attack. Because it's still a marksman skill. I was debating maybe taking a basic attack that's not a marksman skill, but those are melee range and I don't like them. So I still stuck with this, because most of the time, I'd still be getting the crits with the Barrage, and even if it's not the guaranteed crits, Barrage is such a, again, because it's multiple arrows, which each have their own crit chance, I'd still be getting benefits from it. If I was min-maxing, yes, I'd pay attention to the second I get a guaranteed crit, I'd make sure I use Barrage instead of the basic attack. I'm not going to do that, so it's not the most optimal way to play, because technically speaking, I can waste my guaranteed crits on a basic attack. But still, I get those guaranteed crits quickly enough that it shouldn't matter. But that is something I wanted to talk about, because again, I had all this time to not play the game, so I invested in learning the game. So yes, it turns out that I get guaranteed crits a lot, but unfortunately my basic attack can use that. Oh well, that's fine. Now, the fun part. This is what I spent most of my time doing. This is why I have all this experience, even though I didn't do that much. Testing. My playstyle is exactly the same. I'm loving this playstyle. I like to run into the group of enemies, lay down AoEs, get the fuck out of there, and then blow everybody up with Barrage. That's the playstyle. I really enjoy it. We're still doing that. But it actually is now enhanced with even more shit. So, again, I wrote this in specific orders so it's easiest to explain and not get confusing. First things first, I replaced Concealment. So Concealment was the skill that when I'm crowd controlled, I can pop Concealment and gets me out of crowd control. So right now, crowd control is like the only time I'm taking real damage and dying, because I get like frozen or stunned. I can't move, and they just beat the shit out of me and I die. So Concealment is something I push the button, I'm no longer frozen, and I can heal. I did swap that out, and that is why, for instance, I just said I wanted to go ahead and take this jewel for now to reduce the control damage, because right now I don't have a way to not be controlled. That wasn't the plan. The plan was to remove that skill and actually use the aspect that we got. So we do have an aspect that works the exact same way. Eluding aspect. This is the exact same skill as Concealment. It's just a passive. Unfortunately, I was going to put it on my amulet. I can put it on my boots. I can show this off right now. So it only goes on certain pieces of gear. But based on the gear that it goes on, it's a different cooldown time. So if I put it on my boots, I think it's like a 40-second cooldown, which is just, so long. Let's see here. That. So if I put it on my boots, yes, it's a 40-second cooldown. That sucks. My plan was to put it on the amulet, because then it becomes a 27-second cooldown, which is much more bearable. Unfortunately, I had a different amulet I was going to put it on, but then I found an even better one, so I trashed that other amulet. What I didn't notice is this new amulet requires a rarer piece of material I don't have yet. So my other amulet that I trashed, I could have put this on. But right now I can't, because this one is, a higher tier. So I can't put this Eluding aspect on right now, because I need this, which you get from destroying legendaries. And unfortunately, I don't have any. Which is weird because I know I've gotten rid of legendaries, but I just haven't gotten the piece, apparently. I don't know. But eventually we'll get that. Hopefully I get like another amulet that doesn't require this, because again, I did have one before. But as soon as I can, I want to put this Eludin aspect on my amulet, because again, getting crowd control is very painful. I'm intentionally not getting that skill because I'm using it for something else we'll discuss. And I was hoping to replace it with the passive version. But again, a million things going on at once. I didn't pay attention to the fact that the better amulet required a rarer material I didn't have. Oops. So, right now I don't have that. But, again, I said I did remove that skill. I can always put it back on. But I replaced it with the second imbuement. So my second imbuement is going to be Poison Imbuement. And there's several reasons for this. One, that we won't get too deep into. Eventually, I will have a source of chilling. We'll talk about that later. So I will already have a source of chilling elsewhere. Two, poison stacks. So what by that I mean, if I poison someone with Poison Trap, I can then poison them again with a Poison Imbued Barrage, and they will be taking both poison damage. And then I can poison them a third time with another Barrage, and they'll be taking all 3 poison damages. So every time you poison them, it stacks. So I can get like tons and tons and tons of poison stacks on enemies between getting the 2 attacks from Poison Imbuement and Poison Trap. And even better, Shadow Imbuement is amazing for AoE. Poison will be my single target against bosses that don't have fodder, or even if they do. Like, if I need to take down a tough enemy, Poison is my way of doing it. Yes, chilling them would be cool and all, no pun intended, but poisoning them is the better option. So now I have, in the most general sense, I have an AoE imbuement, and I have a single target imbuement. I'll still be using both at times, but generally speaking, around the map I'll be using Poison. In bosses I'll be doing, around the map I'll be doing Shadow. Against bosses I'll be doing Poison. So it kind of works out that way. But there's also a lot of synergy too. So I went ahead, like I said, and replaced Concealment with Poison Imbuement. Let's see. Okay. Another easy one to explain. For now, I plan on taking the skill later, but for now, I took out my passives of Trap Mastery and put them in Precision. So Trap Mastery was when I threw down Poison Trap, for 4 seconds, I got 12% crit chance. That's nice. But now that I have 2 different imbuements, that means that most of my attacks in the fight will be imbued. I instead took this, which gives me 9% crit chance for my imbuement skills. So again, because Barrage, each arrow has crit chance, that means that's 5 arrows, each at 9% more crit chance, and I'd be using Barrage 3 to 4 different times. And then again, you know, all those crits then come into play with my crit damage multiplier. So yes, this will be happening way more often because I have 2 imbuements. So I went ahead and swapped out the Trap gives me crit for the imbuements give me crit, just because I'll proc more often. So that is easy enough to explain. Now for the long talk about my other new skill. This was where most of the testing came in. So my idea, when I talk about this build, I talk about like all these other things like debuffs I'm doing. This build is highly focused on vulnerable enemies. Now that I'm doing 2 sources of poison, it's very focused on poisoning enemies and then, you know, doing more damage to poisoned enemies. But something else I said was it was also focused on crowd control enemies. But it turns out it wasn't really focused on crowd control enemies because I didn't really have a good source of crowd control long term. So I had 2 ways of doing crowd control before. My basic attack slowed an enemy every 3 attacks. It also slowed enemies on crits. That rarely would ever proc, and when it did, it affected maybe 1 or 2 people. So for all intents and purposes, the crowd control aspect of my basic attack, negligible. So we're going to pretend it never even happened. Therefore, my only source of crowd control was Poison Trap, which knocks down enemies when I use it. The thing is, it knocks down enemies for 1.5 seconds. So, in my head, I was like, okay, let's keep stacking crowd control damage. That's great. The reality is, I was only making use of that damage for 1.5 seconds, every 10 seconds. So, I was not benefiting from crowd control damage. Important to note, none of my skills, none of my passives, I'll say, actually gave me crowd control damage. So all those things were just straight up gear improvements. So I saw that, I was like, you know what? Even though like I feel like this is a crowd control build, it really wasn't. Because like I did crowd control things, but I wasn't benefiting from the bonuses. So I was okay of just, okay, well we don't need crowd control increased damage, who cares? But I was curious, is there a way to get better crowd control? The answer is yes, there is. Caltrops. Now, TLDR, I was experimenting how to fit this in. I replaced Dash with Caltrops. And it actually works way better. So the only reason I was using Dash was literally for the movement aspect. I didn't care about the damage. I didn't care about any of the passives. I didn't even take the passives. I was just using it because, again, I run into a group, I place the trap, and then bounce. That's all I was using Dash for. I could just as easily use Evade. So I didn't really need Dash. Well, the cool thing about Caltrops, first and foremost, when you throw the Caltrops down, you jump backwards. So it already has a movement aspect. Now, of course, Dash is roughly twice the distance, but if I'm concerned solely with distance, which honestly I'm not, but let's pretend, if I was only using Dash for distance, I can combine Caltrops and 1 Evade, and that already gives me more distance than 1 Dash. So just by swapping out Dash with Caltrops, I've already got the exact same mechanic covered. So that's a complete clean swap. Dash and the Caltrops. But Caltrops is more than just let me evade out of this situation. And this is where it gets awesome. So Caltrops slows enemies for 6 seconds. That's my crowd control. So Poison Trap will knock them down for 1.5 seconds, but this will slow them for 6 seconds. So now I have 6 seconds of increased damage. And I get 2 casts of it. So I actually get 12 seconds of increased damage to crowd-controlled enemies if I take that passive. And the cooldown on Caltrops is 12 seconds. How convenient. So, theoretically, I will have 100% uptime of crowd-controlling enemies. Now again, we're ignoring resistance and all that shit. Who cares? Again, theoretically. So this is my solution to, in my head, I was crowd-controlling enemies and therefore should be getting bonuses to it. Well now, I actually am crowd-controlling enemies, and therefore getting bonuses to it. So this not only adds the crowd control I thought I had, but it actually enhances my build, not changing it. Because I'm still dashing away, it's just instead of dashing, I'm caltropping, and then if needed, which most times I didn't need in my testing, I can then evade as well. So this is the exact same playstyle. It's just instead of Poison Trap Dash Barrage, it's Poison Trap Caltrops Barrage. Same build, just even better. So now, for real this time, I am making enemies AoE vulnerable, AoE crowd control, AoE poison. That's how I thought I was doing it, and I was wrong, but now I actually am doing it that way. So that's cool. This has so many benefits to it because, again, right now it's not going to matter, but long term, when enemies resist stuff, well, if they resist vulnerability, I have slow and poison. If they resist poison, I have slow and vulnerability. So there's going to be multiple different ways to debuff enemies. hopefully taking away some of their resistances. And all those things can be benefited based on passives and stuff. So I'm going to have a lot of different options, which is great. But we're not done talking about Caltrops. Again, there's a lot to discuss here. So let me look at my list here. Okay, so Caltrops right now seems to be bugged. There are two different things, one of which I would say is definitely a bug, and one of which I don't know is a bug. I hope it's a bug. I hope they fix it, but it might not be. So again, Caltrops, when you throw it down, it slows enemies. Apparently, I have not experienced this because, again, we're still in the base game, the campaign, early game. But apparently, when you start running into enemies that have, like, the fast modifier, they aren't affected by Caltrops. Now, you would think, obviously, enemies are normal speed, so Caltrops lowers their speed to slow. Well, if enemies are high speed, you would think that Caltrops would lower their speed to normal. That's the way you think it should work, but apparently it doesn't work that way. Which is why it's most likely bugged. So enemies that have like a fast modifier aren't affected by the slow aspect, even though they should be. Also, apparently it applies to certain skills, like if people are using like a dash attack or something, it doesn't apply to them. So there are situations later in the game, apparently, where slow doesn't proc. It won't affect me right now, but something I'll pay attention to. So that one is the one that I'm pretty damn sure is a bug. The second aspect, I'm not sure if it's a bug. I kind of hope it is. If it's not, it still might not matter. But long term, and we're going to talk about why, long term, I want to take this passive that makes it so that Caltrops chills enemies. Now, the way chills work is, chilling an enemy is basically like a slow dot. So let's just make up some numbers here. If an enemy is at normal speed, at 100, and they're frozen, as in not moving, at 0, if you slow someone, they go from 100 to 50, just immediately. Just bam, you're slowed at 50. The way chill works is, instead, if they're at 100 movement speed and you chill them, they go 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. So it's a slow over time. The slow is an immediate, again, made up numbers here, an immediate 50% movement reduction, whereas a chill is a slow over time, which eventually gets to 50%. But the better aspect is it also goes past 50%, eventually freezing them. So, again, slow is an instant thing, chill is a dot, it's worse in the immediate aspect, it's better long term, pros and cons. So the bug, potential bug at least, that's happening is, if you read the description when you take this says, it still mentions that Caltrops slows enemies, but then it says it also chills them. So it makes it sound like you do both slow and chill. But what really happens is, it removes the slow, and instead only chills them. I'm not sure if that's intended. Just for the sake of multiple procs, I'm hoping that's a bug that gets fixed. But I can also see the rationale being, well, slow is pretty much the same thing as chilled. We don't want to be slowing and chilling the same enemy. I can see that being their logic. But apparently, again, the way it's written when you take all these skills, the skill says it slows them and it chills them. Which would mean and, not it now only chills them. Again, long term that would be better because you'd get the guaranteed slow, and then you'd have the dot chill. We'll see. Now, the reason that matters, this is where the fun begins, and this is stuff we won't be doing for a long ass time. But, like I said, I don't need to take cold imbuement, because if all turns out the way I intend, I'll be having Caltrops do chill damage. And the reason I want chill damage is because there are some very cool aspects that involve all three of these imbuements together. So one aspect we already saw, it is the poison chill aspect, which basically makes it so that if you poison an enemy that's chilled, they take like a lot more poison damage. And then of course if they're frozen, they take even more poison damage. It's basic, but it's nice. So long term, if I have my Caltrops chilling enemies, I would be throwing a trap down, I'd poison them, I'd chill them, and then they'd be taking something like, I don't even know the number, like 40% more damage from my poison imbued barrage. So it'd be just a very basic combo that I'd proc every single fight just by putting down a trap and Caltrops. Poison, freeze, fuck you damage. So that would be cool. But there's two other imbuements that are awesome, and they both proc off of Shadow Imbuement. And they're both the same one, it's just it's the other imbuement. So if you use Shadow Imbuement on a poisoned enemy, that enemy explodes immediately. That's in addition to them exploding after they die. So, if I poison someone and Shadow Imbue them, they blow up, die, and then blow up a second time. Same thing happens with chilled. If I use Shadow Imbuement on a chilled enemy, they blow up, die, blow up a second time. You see where I'm going here? Because if they're poisoned and chilled, and I use a Shadow Imbuement on them, they will blow up from the poison, blow up from the chill, die, and then blow up again. So rather than blowing up one time, which we're seeing how powerful that is, they will blow up 3 times. And all I have to do is literally the same thing I'm doing right now. Poison Trap, Caltrops, Shadow Barrage. So long term, exact same playstyle, drastically more damage. So that is why ideally, I would like to have Poison Imbuement targeting single enemies, but then having chill Caltrops so I can proc all of these different multiple explosions. It sounds really fun. Obviously, I can't test it out right now, see how it really works. But theoretically, again, if I have both of those aspects on, and an enemy is both poisoned and chilled, theoretically, they blow up twice when I hit them with Shadow Imbuement once. And then they blow up a third time when they die. So it just sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, most statuses stack except for Frozen, Immobilize, Stun. Exactly, so because they all do the same relative thing. And that's why I'm kind of thinking that it's bugged. That chill and slow, like the chill is replacing the slow. Again, I also can understand if that was one of the things that doesn't stack, because technically they're the same thing, but also technically they're not, because slow is the instant effect, whereas chill is the effect over time, but it also then becomes freeze. So, like, I see both sides of the argument in my head. I see why it's not a bug, I see why it is a bug. We'll find out. But yeah, there's a lot of potential synergy, and again, I keep going back to it, but, like, it's the same playstyle. It's not like eventually I'll have to change my playstyle to make some of these things work. No. It's the exact same playstyle. Doing the same thing I'm doing right now, long term, will cause 3 explosions instead of 1, as well as doing like 30 or 40% extra damage. Like, it's fucking awesome. So things should be really, really, really fun here. Alright, last few things to discuss. We can just rapid fire here. I did test out the ultimates. Again, many tests going on. TLDR, I feel like Death Trap is the worst. Rain of Arrows and Death Trap are both AoE. Rain of Arrows actually is sneakily better than it sounds. It already sounds cool, but Rain of Arrows does 2 waves of arrows back and forth. It's not just 1 strike per wave, though. A normal enemy gets hit multiple times by the first wave, and then multiple times by the second wave. So even though it says 100% damage, I don't know how many times they get hit, but even if they only get hit twice, that means it's 200%, 200%. So it's actually 4 times the damage it says, at least, if not more than that. Even better, you can imbue this. So if I imbue this with Shadow Imbuement, that means 1 cast of this only uses 1 Shadow Imbuement, but it hits them 4 times, which means it pretty much guarantees they explode, which means it guarantees everybody explodes. So Rain of Arrows is a godly AoE because it hits multiple times, more than you think it does. And because it can be imbued, it's just bananas. That's cool. So that is one potential ultimate if I choose to use that. Welcome, Rex. I'm in the middle of a long-winded discussion here. The other one is Shadow Clone. Once again, Rain of Arrows is mainly an AoE thing. Yeah, you can use it against a single target boss to hit him multiple times, but in single target, Shadow Clone would be better because Shadow Clone mimics anything I do, and eventually it'll also make my imbuements, and I can just do crazy damage. So long term, I would decide between Rain of Arrows and Shadow Clone, and honestly, I'd probably choose Shadow Clone since it's much more versatile. It could be AoE, depending on what I did. It could be single target, depending on what I did. And I honestly feel like I'd get much more damage out with it mimicking me, rather than just Rain of Arrows. But again, that's something long term if I chose to. I'd still debate between those two. But I do know that I don't like Death Trap. Yeah, it's shadow damage, therefore kills would give me energy. I don't need the energy. I also found out that the passive here, that when you get a kill, it reduces its cooldown. It only procs once. So if Death Trap kills 10 enemies, it'll only proc one time. And that makes sense because it'd be OP. If an AoE got cooldown based on the number of enemies it killed, it'd be OP. So I understand that. So really Death Trap, just for me, was not good. So honestly, if I had to remove something, right now we're sticking with 2 imbuements. It'd be either Caltrops or Poison Trap. And as of right now, it might actually be Poison Trap I swap out. Because the knockdown's only for 1.5 seconds, like I said, as opposed to 6-second slowing, eventually chilling. And I would be poisoning via imbuement. So if I wanted an ultimate, I'd probably swap out Poison Trap. But right now, I don't even care about it. So there you go. That was all of my testing. I learned a whole bunch of shit. That's why I've been ranting for almost 40 minutes about this stuff. Lastly, there are 2 passives I could take if needed. Well, 1 passive and 1 change. I could take this Innervation if I max it out. When I get a lucky hit, which essentially is almost every time I do Barrage. Sorry, I just burped right there. I don't know where that came from. But when I get a lucky hit, it'll be a 30% chance to give me energy back. That would be nice. So if I'm fighting a boss and I'm not getting energy back from the shadow, that would be one way to get it back. I don't think I need it. The other thing is, if I'm really struggling against a boss, I can go away from combo points and take Inner Sight. Since the boss would be just by himself, that means the boss would be the one guaranteed to be hit with Inner Sight. Which means as I attack the boss, I'd constantly be getting unlimited energy for 4 seconds. We haven't needed that, and especially now that we've downgraded to World Tier 1, we probably won't need that at all. But it's just something that, again, since I had a week to not really play the game, I did a very big deep dive looking at everything I could to keep myself, from going crazy of not playing. And yes, if I really needed to, I could swap out of combo points and take Inner Sight. Okay. It's been a week and it's been 40 minutes. I want to play the game. One last thing. We are going to go ahead and immediately go to a dungeon, because this dungeon sounds awesome. So the last thing I did was I looked at all the aspects, I marked down where they are, so I know when to get them, whatever. All that matters is right now there was a dungeon right next to where we were. We were here, this dungeon is here, we're going to check this out. So this dungeon gives me Aspect of Arrow Storms. It's a lucky hit, which again, essentially is, I get a lucky hit every time I do Barrage. So basically, every time I do Barrage, I have a 10% chance to create an arrow storm at the enemy's location. So a 10% chance to put yet another dot on the enemy. So, sounds pretty awesome to me. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. And then, we continue the story. So honestly, my hope here, as we discussed a whole half hour ago, I hope we get a good amulet that I can put that aspect on that doesn't require that legendary crafting material. That's so many conditions that we probably won't. Either that, or I hope we get a legendary I don't care about so I can deconstruct it and then make that. Because right now, crowd controlling is going to be a very big problem. And in fact, this will be a really good test of that. Because I might just get fucked immediately. because in dungeons there's lots of crowd control enemies, so this will be the showcase. Been a while since I didn't have a way to get out of crowd control. And I can show off the new skills once we're in here. Again, it's actually the exact same playstyle. Poison Trap, Caltrops, Barrage. Alright, so I like the bam, Caltrops hops out of that, and they're all slowed, you see that? Ooh, thank you very much. So yeah, Caltrops hits them, or Poison Trap hits them, I Caltrop away, and that's usually enough of a distance, but if I needed to, I can just evade again, and that's already much further than dash. Everybody in that is slowed, which if I get those passives on any of my gear for increased crowd control damage, well, they all take extra damage. And you throw in the fact that they're shadowed, maybe if I do Poison Imbuement, it's just going to be awesome. Again, this whole build is about stacking debuffs. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited to do this. One thing I have to see is this second imbuement. How often do I use it? For now, I kind of only plan on doing it against bosses, but we'll see if I start incorporating it in like normal fights. I don't think I'd need to. Alright, so bam, 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 bye-bye. So, minor things I learned here, which, you know, all make sense. Both Poison Trap and Caltrops, anyone who walks into them gets those effects. So even if people aren't in the field when I put down Caltrops, they walk into it, they're slowed still, obviously. Same thing with Poison Trap. If I put Poison Trap and it detonates and then someone walks into it, they're still poisoned. All those things are obvious, but again, I was testing since I had nothing else I could do. And I confirmed the obvious stuff there. Turn that on. Okay. So I lose close. Oh, this one has close and crowd control on it. So that's a lot. So that's 13.5. So that's 18.5. This one gives me 10. I'm not chilling yet. Ooh, but 8 core damage. Ooh. That might be a good trade, because they're both 18 if you account for that. I'm not stunning or chilling yet, but I would get increased crit damage. Now I would lose the crit damage. Oh yeah, I'd lose the crit damage because of the gem. So that might not be good. So what's the legendary aspect? When you evade or shadow a step, you leave behind a cluster of exploding stun grenades. Now again, I did just replace dash, and one of the options is to evade. I'm just not doing it. I might check that out. What's my other weapon? That one is vulnerable, close. So the crit damage is a little bit less. Vulnerable is the same. So I lose 8.5 close in favor of 8 core. So that's actually a little bit less. But I do get a socket. Oh yeah, no, that'd be better then. So this is for the socket. So we'll put this on and test it. Because, I mean, yes, this is a legendary. Like I said, I'd like to dismantle a legendary to get that thing. But for now, because once I put the socket in there, this will actually be better. And then I can see if I'm evading, if this is actually worth it. Because the damage isn't great. And again, stun for half a second isn't a lot. It's obviously enough to not get hit for half a second. We'll see. So either way, it's something I'm going to use, or it's something I'm going to dismantle, which will then let me use the other aspects. That's perfect. Win-win either way. Okay, we get another one. Thank you. Hell yeah. I still haven't evaded yet. I guess I'll evade just to see what it's like, but the real thing is I gotta see how often I naturally evade. So there's a little time between when they evade and when it drops. I mean, that's definitely something that's nice as a bonus. I just don't think I'll proc it. It's definitely not worth keeping something worse for. Alright, my current one has Dexterity, DR, and then obviously the awesome legendary aspect. This has more armor, life, cold, willpower. Each chilled or frozen enemy you evade through with a barrier absorbs damage. I don't need that. So good. This is the one I can deconstruct. Bam. Sweet. That works out. Alright, we got a Howling Maw. So this right here, I can't do anything about it. That was crowd controlled, and again, can't do anything. This is why I want that aspect. It still would only have a cooldown of 27 seconds, but I mean the skill has a cooldown of like 20 seconds, so yeah, it's longer than the skill, but hey, it frees up the slot for the second imbuement. Are they fighting each other there? It looked like they were. In that case, I couldn't dodge out of that. Okay. All grouped up. Come on. Alright, let's see what we got. This one has the legendary that I could, imprint on it. Life, stats, life on kill, so nothing too crazy. Shadow Imbuement and armor, basically. I'd have to pay to put the aspect back on. Life on kill is nice. Shadow Imbuement, I don't necessarily need the Shadow Imbuement increase, to be honest, because it's already good. I'll put it there as like a maybe, but probably not. Another sword. So this has frozen, slowed, and core skill. Core skill is the only thing I care about, so we're not going to use that. The thing is, it is better per hit, but again, we don't really care about that. That's right. We don't really care because our core skill is based off of our bow. But yeah, now they're taunting me. They know eventually I might be freezing. Oh wait, no, we do have slowed. Oh shit. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Hell yeah. We now have slowed. So that does come into play. So that gives me 7% and then the 8.5. So that's 15.5. That's 13.5. 18. So that's still going to proc more often. So I'm not freezing yet. Yeah, so I'll still keep what I have. Now, yeah, this is better pure damage. It'll make this drastically stronger. I'll look at it, but like I don't care about it being drastically stronger. I care about Barrage. The 343 shouldn't change. 116. Oh, it did change. Oh, because the core skill. So 365, 148. So because the core skill that goes up, but what's not shown is I'm still losing again. 5%. Because it's not going to show me the crowd control damage and all that shit. Actually, I can just directly compare crowd control and slowed. Yeah, so the other one still should be better. This is less damage, but I don't care about the damage of that. I care about the modifiers. That's right. We now care about slow, and that's what's great. Slow, as well as eventually chill. They can double dip. I can get modifiers for crowd control and that specific skill. But they're not grouping up for me. Alright, this way. So he's gonna be immune to poison, but whatever, I'll throw it down anyway. Knock his ass down. But at least he's slowed, so he's still taking extra damage because he's crowd controlled by slow. Alright. Smoke grenade, I don't really need... Oh, well, okay, it's smoke grenade, I don't have that anyway. But yeah, even if it was Caltrops, I don't need that increase. We're not doing Caltrops for the damage. So yeah, none of that stuff. We already got lucky. Our first, like, 2 or so drops were 2 legendaries. One I want, and one I don't. And that's exactly what I need. I needed one to destroy and one to keep. And that's what we got. This way. Follow me. Perfect. I mean, no, no! Ah.
Over here! Help! Watch out!
Need more time.
There, I actually threw down a Poison Imbuement as well. Even though I saw that one of them was poison immune, but still. I shadow trapped them because they were tough, they didn't blow up, so I poisoned them. I got my 2 trap stuff down, and then they started dying from the poison, and then kaboom. We leveled up. Alright, let's see. Crit damage all stats dot close. So the close is great, but it's not going to make up for everything else that we're losing, because from this one we have 13 close, plus 5. So no. Strength, poison resist all. Eventually I do want to swap that out, but I want something that really stands out. Armor, Dark Shroud, well, no. And again, the one I have right now gives me the +2 Barrage. It's going to be a keeper. Oh. Let's get the group aggro, fuck it.
You saved my life.
So, I could go ahead and start taking this Trap Mastery again, since I just swapped out the passives. But I actually feel like I want to get the Weapon Mastery first. Because again, depending on what type of weapon we use, we get increased damage or increased crit damage. All those are nice. So we'll go ahead and get Weapon Mastery now. Look how big the AoE is for the slow. It's like twice the size of the poison one.
Do you hear it? The howling. The hideous howling. I no longer know whether that horrific sound is in the air or in my head. My mind will not be still since I've come to this place. So many have disappeared, taken down everywhere elsewhere. Something never to be seen again. Is that the fate awaiting me? I am drawn to it.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Get back to where we were? Yes. And this way.
Bless you.
That's nice. Like, oh shit, I gotta get out of there before I die, Caltrops. That's gonna help out there. I do have to get in the groove. Like, there would have been... I was even thinking it. Like, there was a great time to use imbuement, poison imbuement. Because my shadow was on cooldown. I needed to get the tough guy. I was thinking I should poison them. But, again, just... finger-wise, I couldn't do it yet. But I at least was thinking it. I'll get the muscle memory soon. That's what's going to be great having a second imbuement. Most of the time, like I said, I'll be using shadow in these dungeons. Like, just overworld. Poison against the boss. But there are times I'd use both. I just gotta get the muscle memory. Basic dexterity is nice, but otherwise... I mean, it's cool to get all that crit damage, but no. Intelligence, poison, life. Good armor, but it's not worth replacing yet. Crit damage, frozen, basic, chill, nope. Dexterity, yes. Crowd control, hell yeah. Frozen, distant, no. So no, all that's a no. It's worse. Okay. It does have 2 slots, though. Is that second slot worth it? No, just for more crit damage. I'd lose a ton of damage against everyone else for some crit damage. That's not worth it. Unless the dexterity makes up for that. Okay, let's test this out. 343. 257. It's worse. So yeah, the 15% core damage. Way better than the dexterity. Alright, so where are we? We're here. We'll loop down there. Good. Make use of the shrine as we just run through here.
Bless you. You're there! Please! Help us get out of here!
Not really nice to be able to do this with the shrine, that's alright. Maybe get the items before we do the event. Actually, I don't know if the event's gonna like disappear, so we'll actually do that first.
Came here to purge this evil, but now I can't leave my friends here. Not like this.
We can't do it alone.
They're here!
The only way out of this is to fight.
I'm sorry that I'm trying to do this. Always about keeping, when there's multiple people to keep up, sometimes it's tough.
Need need more time.
I am fumbling. Even though it's the same button, I'm hitting the button for poison trap instead of caltrops by accident. Every now and then.
Take this, my friend. It's not much, but I hope it helps.
Alright.
You deserve this. Never seen anyone fight like you.
Damn right. What, did one of them die, it sounds like? The vulnerable, all stats, dex. Those are nice, the stun. But losing that core, vulnerable is the same. Yeah, so that dexterity increase won't make up for everything else from here. Marksman skill damage. Okay, shadow resist life. Nah. Shadow step, I don't use. Shrine, shadow. Nah. Crit damage, stun, distant. Aw, no. Armor, cooldown, life. They keep giving me these helms. Now, I will say all these stats are okay. Nothing really blows me away. Let me compare to the one I was holding here. I take this one over that one, so this is the new maybe. I still don't know how expensive it's going to be to put the legendary on this, but you know, armor, cooldown, life, like they're all fine. Nothing amazing. Alright, let's go back and get the loot. Where'd you come from, buddy? Here's the broadsword. Yeah. Alright, wait. Attack speed, willpower, strength. Oh yeah, my gloves have Barrage on them. It'll be hard to replace until we get another Barrage glove. Alright, yep, it's this place. This fog wall is now open. Another shrine. And away we go. Alright, we lost the buff, so let's go get anything that may have dropped. I don't think really anything dropped, just money. Alright. Yeah, we definitely would have gotten so much more experience. I mean, obviously it's like 20% more, but still, it would have been like, oh, we would have been almost leveling again right now. So unfortunately, World Tier 1, but we gotta roll right now. I don't even know how many acts there are. I think there's 5. And we're maybe halfway through 2. Ooh, that Poison Imbuement did crazy fucking damage there to that guy. Tore through his health. Ah, you fucker. Still slowed though. He was in it for a while. Alright, it's fine. Oh my god, keep fucking terroring me. You. Alright, we got aspect of arrows. We'll see how hard that is to put on our weapon. By that I mean, like, how much does it cost? Does it require that legendary item like the one for the amulet? Hopefully not. If I can kill him quick enough. Not spawning all at once, which is what I want. Alright, well those guys all spawned together, which helped me a lot. Good, we did do it.
My bags are full.
So, 3 different times I've used this Poison Imbuement when we were fighting like a tough enemy. Maybe it's a coincidence, I don't know, but like, it's doing fucking crazy goddamn damage. It doubles the damage of Barrage, but it's over 5 seconds, but it's just doing so much. Oh, you know what it is? Well, part of it is the fact that we're getting the increased crit from this, so it's not necessarily just the poison part, but I don't know. Every time I was doing it, I was looking at their health, and they was just being fucking drained. Awesome. Here we go. So, plus Barrage, Dexterity's better. I lose crit chance. I don't care about Twisting Blades. I'll take the 3% crit chance in favor of 11 armor. Crit damage, Dexterity stat dot. Distant, crit chance, close. That's better close damage. Gives me crit chance. I'd lose the armor, though. This one, on the other hand, I am looking for a ring to take this legendary aspect. I would like to get a ring that has a socket, though. That's the thing. This ring is good. I would swap this. But I want a ring with a socket. Okay. Tap you. Now that ring has a socket. Lucky hit, slowed, dazed. The slowed is nice, so it's really an 8.5, which is better than nothing. But again, I want a ring that's really good so I can get that imbuement on there. That's just not it. It has a socket. It has slowed. Lucky hit's okay. I don't need it. It's okay though. And then dazed is a waste. I'm gonna say no. Alright. Obviously that bow's no. Alright, then the boots. Charge, dodge, move, shrine, and armor. Yeah. And all this. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Dark Shroud, regen, poison trap. I get armor? I lose dodge chance, life, and thorns for poison trap, regen. I'm not using Dark Shroud right now. I don't really need the damage from poison trap, so it's really the armor in favor of Thorns, life, dodge. I'll keep what I have for now. Slow duration reduction. Energy cost, dodge chance. Thorns, trap damage, and DR. That's okay. So again, I'm hoping that this amulet I can put the aspect on and not use a legendary thing. I mean, the amulet I have on now, I would say is probably better. But if I can put the aspect on this for cheaper, then this is better, because it also has a socket. Okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh, I didn't need the town portal there. I wanted to use the main map portal. There. Let's test this out first. Can I use the aspect without having to use a legendary component? And even then, this still might be better because of the slot. You. That's our new one right there. And that actually goes on that, but first let me see this. So they both need legendary components, so I do have to actually compare them for real. Okay. Next, what can I use this new aspect on, since they only work on specific items? Obviously I'd use it on the weapon then. Oof. That requires 2 legendary items. Man. Fuckity fuck. If I put this instead, that requires 1, and that requires none. Ooh. Here we go. So I can put it on my dagger. Now it'd be less damage, that's the thing. This is 700 damage as opposed to 1400. So this is twice the damage, but it requires the 2 legendary fragments. Vision's decisions. Fuck. I think for now I'm just going to throw it on this. Because I don't have the legendary fragments. I can't do it yet. So that's worth just doing this. Now this dagger is awesome. It's low level, but again, we only care about the percent thingies on it. And this gives us 2 different close and crowd control. So the only thing that's not good on this is stunned. Otherwise, it also has a slot. So even though it's a low-level dagger, which means potentially could be replaced, the other aspects of it are good. And we're going to get 10 of these back just by trashing all this. It's really just a money. Fuck it. I'll do it. Bam. Alright. So now, basically, since this is like a guaranteed one-time lucky chance, I have a 10% chance every time I use Barrage to put a dot on an enemy. Alright. Let's see. Just got text here real quick. Right. Let's respond to this. Alright. So the other thing that we just looked at now is this new aspect. Now, the new one we put on is the eluding one again. No matter what, I have to use a legendary, so I don't care about +1 agility. So 3% armor, 8.5% imbuement damage. As opposed to thorns, trap, and damage reduction. Let me see the damage reduction from this. 29, 27. So, because this is damage reduction for everything, I'll take the new amulet. So really, in terms of pure damage, 8.5 imbuement skill is way better than trap skill, because I don't care about trap. But this has a socket, so I do lose out on damage, but in return I get thorns, I will get armor, and my traps will be a little bit better. It's still going to be a net loss. Let me look at this text. It's still going to be a net loss of damage, but I think I'm going to like this, because again, we're going to get this armor, so it's more of a defensive option. We don't really need more offense right now, so fuck it. Bam. And then... oh, I have to actually trash these first. So, anything else here really quick? Oh, that's right, I wanted to see this.
Hello.
Hello? If I was adding which aspect of it? That. Right? So this is... that also cost me legendary. Fuck. If I wanted to put that on, that'd be yet another legendary. Okay. We're only trashing, I think, one legendary. We won't have a second one to get rid of right now. And then the other thing is the ring, which I guess I'll hold on to both of these, but this is going to be out-leveled soon, so I won't hold on to that then. So really we're just holding on to the ring. These two can go. And we either need more legendaries or like a really good roll on the helm to make it worth it. Alright. Good to know. So at least now I get the crowd control. It only procs once on every 27 seconds, but better than nothing. Put those back. We're keeping this ring. That's an okay ring, but still not worth completely swapping that for. That one is... I guess I'll hold it for now, but like by the time I come back, we're going to have something better. These can all go. We'll get this, which I can then imbue. That aspect.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, I'm not getting the... what? Oh, there, right there. Oh, shit. This isn't even going to give me the legendary for this. Because I need legendary amulet. Fuck, or legendary jewelry. So I still can't get that on that. Damn it. I finally got that. So I need a legendary... I could get rid of this then. So I do have another one of them in storage.
My bags are full.
But this is nice. Why is it saying I'm picking stuff up when I'm not? Because this imbuement, the legendary aspect, making an enemy vulnerable, which I do all the time, has a 32% chance to give me crit chance. So basically, this is just constantly up. So this is always like a guaranteed 9% crit chance. But getting rid of that is going to give me something I really fucking need right now. Oh, and the game crashed. Okay, well that explains why I kept saying I can't pick anything else up, because, yeah, that was that. They want me to describe what was going on, I will. I was in town, but the character kept commenting on picking things up. On not being able to pick things up. Alright. I was in town, but the character kept commenting on not being able to pick things up, so the game must have been bugged in a cycle of thinking I was trying to pick things up. Bam. That's what was happening. Alright, there you go. I just commented, I was like, why does he keep saying I can't pick things up? That's why. Alright. So again, I can't actually use this aspect yet either. So, fuck. Let me look at my inventory to see what I have stored there, because I have the same thing, but I liked having 2 of them for this specific reason. This is the exact same thing right here. So I can still use this for the aspect part. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, I can't get rid of this amulet, so it must be like story related. So otherwise, this would be exactly what I need to get rid of, but it doesn't let me. But this is a very awesome skill that I really don't want to... I don't want to lose the second one, because you can only take things off one time. If I take this off of something, put it on another ring, and then eventually when I replace that ring, I will use this. So I always want to have one in storage. So for now, we'll continue without that crowd control aspect, but that's my most likely scenario, is to replace this, dismantle this, get the thing for that. Okay. So I can at least use my things here, where I get armor. Oops. I get armor on that, and then this, we can get vulnerable damage, crit damage, bam. Alright, awesome. And we're still not slotting that in, since we're potentially taking the legendary aspect off of that onto something else. Okay. I can go ahead and upgrade this then. Since usually the first upgrade's dirt cheap. When is it you? Upgrade. So that one's dirt cheap. Second one's still cheap. That one, again, I could do, but I'm just really conserving even these materials, even though I don't necessarily need them.
May the light.
Never know,
guide
I
you.
might need them. Alright. So, that was our little bit of side stuff that we're doing, and now we're once again just pushing the main story. So we gotta find a route beyond the fog here. So for the main story, there were these group of demon hunters who slayed this demon, but it turns out that demon can't actually be killed. So Lilith is hunting them down to find out what they actually did with the demon, because apparently she wants to free that demon. So this is one of the people that supposedly slayed the demon, and we're trying to stop them from telling Lilith what happened, and in turn finding out what happened ourselves. Yo, those thorns just fucked those guys up. Oh my god, I don't even have very high thorn damage there. Alright. Find you somewhere in here. That's where it's tagged.
Did you hear that? Something
A pain
screaming in
quest.
rage ahead.
Okay.
That was one of the revered dead from the cairns.
Returned to the worms. May they find rest.
Arlo,
Did you think we'd so easily join the dead, lad?
Oh,
How
this
did
is what
you
we heard
find your
last
way
time.
up here?
through the
I
cairns.
don't know why I've listened to it again,
Through
that's
them.
alright.
Mighty brave of you. And mighty foolish. Erida came through with
skip
that
this.
horn.
I'll stay here and protect these two.
Alright,
Fog
so
is
find a
too
way to
near
destroy.
leave them undefended.
The stones defend us, lad.
So both sides.
I'm not ready yet.
Because I have 2 imbuments, I could actually get the poison trap upgrade. That gives me like a 30% chance of instantly refreshing my imbuement cooldown. For now, though, I'm kind of focused on just getting all these passive increases. But that's definitely a possibility. Alright, that's that side, then we can loop back to the other side. Alter both, nice. Intelligence. Chest, silent chests. So far we've opened 3 or maybe 4 silent chests, and they've all been trash. I don't think I've even gotten like a single rare from them yet. But we're gonna keep making sure we have a stock of those keys. At some point, they'll actually give us good shit.
The fog is thinning now. I should check on urine.
This one? Yeah. I'm just so spread out right now. I love how big this fucking AoE for the Caltrops is. It's just massive.
The roads are clear now. We need to get to Braystack. It's safer there.
We've lasted this long and survived worse.
You've been fortunate.
If Lola's here, you're still in grave danger.
Braystag, swarming with those cathedral gobshites.
Please, Arlo. Just for now.
Maybe we should go with him, Dad.
Well, the ale would be welcome.
I will deal with Erida and Lilith. See them safely to Braystack.
I will. Thank you.
So Erida is one of the demon hunters that Lilith, is trying to get to find out what happened to the demon. And it seems like she's already corrupted that person. Alright, so up there. Why is this highlighted in yellow? I think it's the dungeon where he did. Yeah, that's why. Alright, so moving up this way.
They're rising from the cans.
Oh, is this an event or is this the main? I think it's the main quest.
Have you seen the signs as I have?
Erida?
Hell is coming, and my people are not ready to face it. Not yet. But you are already strong. Come forward.
Right. Okay, let's see. I haven't been paying attention. I saw it right there with how often arrow storms proccing. Theoretically, yeah, it's a 10% chance every time I use a barrage or a basic attack. It's less than 10% with the basic attack, but with barrage it's about 10%, since, again, every barrage is generally one lucky hit. Lots of crit damage. Otherwise, no. Crowd control, core skill. Yeah, okay. This is vulnerable core skill. That's better. And this is the one that I put the thing on, of course. I'd still probably keep the one that I have. It would actually be pretty tempting to swap. Well. Nice music playing here while we're doing this.
Only one of us will walk away from this. So let's enjoy the storm a moment. Nature's music.
The dead are killing your people as we speak.
Some will die, yes. But that is the way of nature. It is a crucible. It devours the weak and makes the strong stronger. And those who survive, they will save this land from hell.
You've fallen for the demon's lies.
No, no. This is my choice. Lilith only granted me the power to do what must be done.
And what did you give her?
All things must be earned in the wilds, even knowledge. Prove yourself, and you will have your answers.
Okay. Poison on her. That's where she has that poison dot. Of course, she loses it immediately, but then put it right back on, and she gets it again. Take my time so I can get that poison imbuement back on. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm immune for a last second here. Now bye-bye. Ah, you fucker again. He's 1 HP.
Don't have enough energy.
That guy on top of it died to the poison damage.
The stronger.
I was intentionally taking it a bit slow, trying to weave between poison
So be
and
it.
shadow based on who was there,
What
and
did you
it went
give
well.
Lilith?
Obviously, I'll speed it up over
I
time.
told her of the wards around Astaroth's prison. How to break them.
Oh shit.
Why?
My people have forgotten what it took to defeat Astaroth. Oh, they must learn again. If they cannot vanquish him, how can they stand against the full might of hell?
Alright, so again, the demon hunters claimed to have defeated the demon Astaroth, but of course they didn't actually defeat him because he can't be killed, so they imprisoned him, and she told Lilith how to remove the wards of the prison. Okay. Distant days, crit, frozen. Nope. That's one person. Now we need to get the other person. What the hell? First of all, to see if they're okay, or if they're working with Lilith like she was. I found Arendath.
And?
She is at peace now. I hope.
I never thought it would turn out like this. Heroism and sacrifice are often entwined in the course of fate. My mother's words. I must tell Father what has happened. What Lilith has done. We cannot let her destroy anything else.
Alright. Sadly, lady, I'm not doing your side quests. I do have a couple dungeons in this area that I want to get done. Actually, first things first. Got a ring here. Energy, life, crit chance. I mean, crit chance is nice, it's low. Life is nice, I don't really need energy. It has a socket. But again, I'm looking for a good ring to take this legendary aspect off of. And it needs to be like a good ring. This is an okay ring. It's not a good ring. Does it replace this one? This one is close damage and life regen. Doesn't really replace that either. No. Alright. So, blacksmith. All. Yes. We're going down here. So I know that there's, in this area, let me look at my lists. Which one is this? This is, because I wrote down like locations. Bragg. So there's one southeast of Bragg in here for Cheat's Aspect. Somewhere in here is a dungeon for Cheat's Aspect. We'll see where that is and potentially do that. I as we make our way here. I know there's like 2 of them in here, I believe. No, one's here, and one's up here. And I think one's like up here or something. Again, we don't want to do side stuff now. That's why I'm prioritizing A, doing these dungeons, and then, if we don't have the potion upgrade by that point, then we'll do side stuff. Now, I do want to get side stuff like this that's already accepted. I think that's the only one that's accepted right now, just so I don't have it in my log. But otherwise, I'm trying not to pick up any side stuff, unfortunately, since you're penalized for leveling up too quickly. Really dumb mechanic. They penalize you for enjoying the game. Hey, you like this game so much that you want to 100% it as you go through it? Well, fuck you. We're gonna make sure you get no experience after level 50, because you didn't beat the game quickly. How dare you take the time to enjoy our game? Right. Just feels so wrong running through these zones and not 100%ing it, but that's what I gotta do. On map. Unlock, damn you. Alright, is this it? That's not it. Okay. I don't care about that one. This is going right to the side quest while we get there. So what is the side quest anyway? Take the bag of food stuff. Oh, that's right. The father. I mean, this is going to be a town coming up, I would think. There's a chest above us. It's a bit weird. Yep. Oh well. Hit 39. Oh, there's a fast travel up here. Is this town? This is a town, okay. Korbach. Let's see, ring. Distant, crowd-controlled, vulnerable. That's 2 of 3. Cooldown, fire resist, no. Alright, is that ring worthy? It's just, damn, if that was 10% close enemies, this would be a fucking dope ring. It's still really good, though. 5.5 crowd control, 8.5 vulnerable. That's 14% damage increase. And it has a socket. I think I'll do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So we'll wait until they go back to Big Town. But, we'll swap this. Again, obviously, I'd love, like, a perfect roll. Who cares? We're not gonna get a perfect roll. But this is a pretty damn good roll. 2 of 3 stats that I want. It's fine. Alright. So then, leveled up. Again, we're going marksman, which just depending on what type of weapons I use. It's just general bonuses, all relating to some sort of damage or crit damage increase. Worth it. This is down here. Tag that first. I remove that? Thank you. Well, Valter asked me to give you this.
From Da? Truly? Oh, thank you. We haven't had nothing to eat in days. The little ones can barely keep their eyes open. We miss him terribly, but he's done what needed doing. He's kept the family alive. Thank you again.
Alright. Get salvage. Okay. Alright, I kind of want to unlock the map since, again, I know there's dungeons I want. I want to see if the dungeon's down here, potentially. There is one showing. And I don't think it's that one, so it might be down here as a dungeon I want to get. Cows! I read how that there's players trying to figure out how to unlock the secret cow level that apparently the devs insist aren't in the game, but we all know definitely is in the game. Dumbass skeletons, you could have all unlived. Instead, you all die for real. Alright, so that's it right there. I'm not shown, but see if that's the dungeon I want to do. Oh shit, wow. Okay. This guy left all this loot behind. Getting the kills, I kind of have to take it. Alright, I'll leave that gold there. I resist the urge to get the gold. It'll just keep going and going. Faded plaque. There's that. Okay. So this dungeon is... This is the one I want. We're gonna go in here. Alright, so cheats aspect. You take 15% less damage from a crowd-controlled enemy. Now, once again, before, when I thought I was doing crowd control, I really wasn't. So this wouldn't really actually be useful to me. It'd be useful for 1.5 seconds every 10 seconds at best. Now, it's useful for, optimally, 100% of the time. So just a 15% DR. Also, whenever a crowd control enemy deals direct damage to you, you get 15% movement speed for 2 seconds. So, since I'm AoE crowd controlling almost 100% of the time, this is just a 15% DR and 15% movement speed for 2 seconds. Useful. We'll go ahead and do this. So we've got the aspect of Aerostorms and Cheats aspect. Sweet. Probably could have went and got rid of some of this stuff, but oh well. Subterfuge, cooldown, DR to close. DR to close is nice. So that's better than just flat DR, because most things are close. Subterfuge I don't care about. Subterfuge is Poison Trap, and only Poison Trap. So it's actually the same thing, you know. +1 Poison Trap versus 8% more damage, so whatever. Thorns versus cooldown. I mean, cooldown's nice, obviously, but actually it's not really a build that worries about cooldown all too much. Yes, there's cooldown with imbuements, but I'm not too concerned. So technically, I would rate Thorns over cooldown. But it's something worth holding on to because of the whole, again, does this need the legendary thing? It probably does, but we'll hold on to that. Stun, crit, close. Close is good. Crit damage I'd take. But if it was instead like slowed, crowd control, vulnerable, I would swap that. Otherwise, this is vulnerable crowd control. I'd rather have vulnerable crowd control instead of crit close. So yeah, that's a no. Alright.
Smells good. Don't stir too much though. Intruder!
I'm all up. Ammo. Wait, there's nothing back here. Then they come over here. Come on. Alright, now we can get this whole room, hopefully, to follow me. I will get half the room. Now we'll get the other half of the room. Good, good, good. And rock, pop. Had to heal there because I was taking damage while trying to group them all up. But that's okay. We very rarely have to heal. Either when I'm fucking around or when we get CC'd, and that's about it. Alright, so we can go that way or this way. Let me take a look at our loot while we're here. Crit damage, physical damage, crowd control, no. Rapid fire I'm not using, overpower intelligence, no. Okay. Ooh, there's a lot of enemies here. Let's get some big kabooms. Shrine that way. What's over here then? Is this gonna be a dead end, possibly? Nope, it just keeps going either way.
You there! Please help us get out of here! We came here to purge this evil, but now I can't leave my friends here. Not like this.
Not like this. Close and crowd control. Ooh.
They're here!
Unfortunately, this doesn't have any kind of socket.
The only way out of this is to fight.
So, oh, again, the numbers are high anyway. This is 15% core damage versus 19 close. But again, 19 plus 9, so that's 28%. Whereas this is only 15%. But this also has like a huge crit damage. Oh, fuck, he died? I didn't know this was timed. Oh, man. Okay, the event was going on without me knowing. I mean, I heard it, but I wasn't really sure if it was going. That was on me. Might lose out on the extra. Maybe not, though. There's still 2 remaining. So I'm crowd controlled there. Alright, good. I still managed to get the bonus despite just standing there for a good 10 seconds before it. Alright.
You deserve this. Never seen anyone fight like you.
That's a shame. I could have gotten more. Oh well. Ooh, what did she drop there? A legendary dagger. Alrighty then. Danka. Nothing else? Alright, let's see what we got. Fire, will, shadow step, no. Chill, slow, poison. Well, slow and poison, but still not worth it, no. Dash, poison, fire resist, no. Vulnerable damage. Not stun, but slowed enemy and dexterity and 2 slots. I'm gonna lose out on that 15% core damage. But I get 18% slowed. And since most of the time they're slowed, it's still a pretty clean swap. Okay. I lose 17% crit damage. In return, I get 7.5% crit damage. So I'm really losing 10% crit damage in favor of 38 dex. And right now, when I dodge, I stun enemies, but I'm just not doing that enough that I'm just going to pretend it's not a thing. 38 dex does not make up for 7.5% crit, I would assume. How much does 38 dex matter? Well, this is going to be a decrease anyway. It's going to show me a decrease, right? Yeah, it's showing the decrease, so I can't really compare. This is going to be the crit damage. I'm going to say the one we have is better. I'll take 7% crit over 38 dex. Yeah. But that's close. They almost made me do it. Vulnerable, crowd controlled, dex, overpower. No. All stat intelligence DR. Nah. Now this is our legendary. Close, yes. Everything else sucks. Overpower, dot. I mean, I do dot damage. I don't care about the stat. So overpower, dot, daze, stun. Damn it. Flurry damages enemies in a circle. Alright, so I don't care about any of that. But the good news is that means I can deconstruct it and get a legendary crafting thing. So even though it's not good for me, it still is good that I can deconstruct it. Alright. That's actually pretty cool. That, like, I still feel good about getting a legendary that I don't care about. Another legendary amulet. Cha-ching. Thank you. So, no matter what, if it's good, I can use it. If it's not good, I can then go ahead and deconstruct it and finally get my crowd control passive. Cha-ching. I actually kind of want this not to be good. As weird as it sounds. I either want it to be, like, amazing, or I want it to not be good. Because I want that the crowd control passive. Ideally, this would have crowd control passive on it. I guess that's the best case scenario. A really good amulet that already has crowd control on it. Let's see. So the boots. Cold. Okay, the boots are all about resistance. I don't really care about that. Do I? Yeah, I lose a second max charge. Maybe I do care about resistance, though. Like, that gives armor, resist. This is a good defensive pair of boots. I'm not evading. I haven't really needed it. I'd lose a tiny bit of damage from Dex. I'd lose the damage from Caltrops. I'm not using Caltrops for damage, that's the thing. Like, I don't care about the damage. I don't care about the energy cost. Let's see the damage decrease. It's 439, 360. So it's 100 less damage, but like again, it's shit damage. Who cares? The slow goes from 59 to, or 57 to 50, but that doesn't matter either. I'll take the resistance. You know what? Fuck it. I will take the resistance. That's a lot of resistance. It's cold, lightning, and poison resist. I'll take that. Alright, now the real one. Let's find out. 4% control impaired duration reduction. Useful. Armor. Useful. Agility and subterfuge. Those two things I don't really care about. That's increasing my poison trap and caltrops. And again, I don't really care about increasing their shit. It's useful, especially poison trap. But it's like a secondary for poison trap, a tertiary for caltrops. But hey, I'd make use of it. Now the legendary aspect. God damn it. It's the skill I just fucking put on my weapon. I wonder though if they stack. Your marksmanship skills have the 10% chance, but now it's 1400 damage instead of 700 damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a slot. So I'm okay. The DR, they swap with the armor. Okay. I'm okay losing the trap damage. I think it's actually made up for. So really, I'm losing thorns and armor in favor of potentially getting the marksman thing, which would let me swap this out. Let's see if the armor changes. Okay, I do lose a decent amount of armor because of that. But again, this marksman, let me just wear it for now and see if I notice it proccing more often, because I think they'd stack, honestly. Oh, they don't. They actually, oh, that's cool. They thought of everything. They show you that it doesn't stack. Okay, so this overwrites that, which then frees up the dagger. So no matter what, I'm going to hold on to this. It's just a matter of, do I use it? Do I want to lose thorns and armor in favor of a better damage-dealing marksman? I'll say yes for now. Just for now. We'll see. Was there a percent roll on that? Because that's a pretty decently high roll. That's in like the 80 percentile range, maybe even 90 percentile range. So this is worth holding on to regardless. I don't think I'd want to get rid of that, even if I wasn't using it. So I actually need another legendary amulet. That's a pretty high roll. Full thorn, is it? Let's see. No. My thorn is a low roll. The lowest is 48. This one's at 55. But it's still good. Like, I'm noticing enemies taking good damage from it, because they're attacking quickly. Alright, we gotta go up that way. Ooh, hey, okay. Spiders. Fuck you, spiders. Nobody likes you. So in a fight like this, I'm seeing how often we're getting marksmen. Okay. We just got lucky there. We got like 3 of them in a row. That's a super... Okay, we keep getting it somehow. I don't know how it's happening. Okay, what the fuck is happening? This is great. The percent didn't change. It's just the damage that changed. And yet somehow we're proccing this all the fucking time. Thorn works well, but unfortunately you don't want to be hit by elites in late game. You need to farm a lot of those. Yeah, that makes sense. Slowly switching out Thorns for lightning crits and overpower and lucky chance. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Obviously, further in the game, you just can't really risk getting hit, like, at all. Okay, another legendary. Legendary gloves. We're almost full here. Crit chance, twisting blades, no. Overpower, rapid fire stats. Healing, crowd control, life on kill. No. Lucky chance. Willpower, twisting blade, rapid fire, no. What's the legendary aspect? This is a high roll. Crit strikes with core skills increase your attack speed. Now this isn't something I'd prioritize, but first of all, it's a very high roll. It's almost a max roll. And it's also something that does apply to us though, because I'm getting critical strikes with my core skill virtually every time I use it. I should get roughly 1 every time I use this. So this is almost a constant 24% attack speed. That's worth holding on to in the very least to imbue on something else if needed. It was really fun pre-level 50, yeah, I can imagine. Again, just the little bit I'm doing here, I'm actually seeing how pretty big this is. Just at doing 55 damage to enemies, it's actually very noticeable that they're taking damage. Nothing's in here. Alright. Destroy the Sentinel statues. I'm going to have some choices to make in terms of which gear I want to use. The boss battle here should be a really good test too. And whenever I use that Poison Imbuement, they just fucking die.
Carrying too much.
Ooh, okay. Game decided to drop you a 500 Thorns Sacred Pants. Yeah, guess you have to go back to Thorns for now. Fuck it. Better be that generous. Alright. So I'm full, which means I gotta trash. Oh wait, I don't have to trash, I can just use a portal. I gotta be careful here. I don't want to sell or dismantle everything. Alright, let's see what's new. Oh, what's new? Come on. Nothing. Alright, so you dismantle. This is where it stops. Yeah. Dismantling that.
Better than
Bam.
starting from nothing.
All right. Now we go back. Distant, vulnerable, basic, dot, no. Physical, max, energy, shadow, no. Okay. Let's go this way first, I guess. Well, that keeps going. Maybe this is the dead end over here. I know it has a pathway. Alright, fuck it, we'll go this way then. Enemies grouped up, or is it just him? There we go. Not a lot. Oh, it was hard to tell that that was his poison trap and not mine. Alright, maybe this will connect. Oh good, so that's the locked door, so we can go here first. Cutthroat, DR, armor. So DR and armor are nice, I don't need Cutthroat, that's the melee range stuff. Vulnerable, dex, crit damage, stun. If that was slowed, that'd be much more potentially better, but even then it probably wouldn't work. Alright. Distant, stat, distant, close, 2 slots. Still not going to make up the difference. Yeah, not making up the difference. Crit, stun, chill, overpower, nope. Crowd control, days slowed. So I get crowd control and slow. No slot though, which really takes away from this. This one's crowd control and vulnerable. So 5, 5, 8, 5. So that's 14. That's 16. So this is... Oh wait, no, it's not. It's 14.5. So this is barely better damage-wise. That has a slot. I take that over this. Okay. That's what's crazy. Again, not only am I vulnerable, crowd control, poison, but all 3 of those are virtually 100% uptime. So I don't have to think about, okay, but which one's going to be up more, which one matters most. All of them. They're all pretty much always up. Get these all grouped up first. Okay. That goes down here. Oh, here's a new stat. 13% damage with skills that swap to new weapons. Now that's interesting because my basic attack is dagger, my ranged attack, or my other attack is bow, so that would actually apply to me. So that's just a 13% damage increase. It gives me thorns and imbuement. Ooh. Huh. So that's another one I can see. If I can put that legendary aspect on that, I probably would. Okay. Very interesting. Distant shadow chilled? No. Long term will probably get chilled, but distant is no. And shadow's nice, but not worth it right now. Alright, boss. Tomb Lord. To leave again before I put down the trap.
I'm not ready yet.
Bye-bye. I was like never below, like, I don't even know, 90% health. Now, yes, unfortunately, we're playing on World Tier 1, and it does, I will say, experience-wise, this feels better. So I always felt like you got just way too much fucking experience. So World Tier 1 feels great for experience, but enemies are, like, super easy. Alright, let's see. Slow reduction. Nah, alright. What's this? Poison trap, life, and stats. Not really. It does have a second slot, so I can get some DR when crowd controlled. I lose thorns, life, and dodge. No, actually, I get. It's pretty much the same life, so we'll ignore that. So I lose thorns and dodge chance in favor of armor, DR when crowd controlled, and some trap damage. I guess I'd swap the dodge for sure. So really it's losing thorns, which again is just I'm kind of liking it, in favor of a little more damage and DR. I also lose, apparently when I heal with this, it gives me a barrier versus giving me resource. Nah, I mean, I feel like technically I probably should swap it and get more DR when crowd control, but fuck it. We'll keep the thorns because I like it. Alright, that's everything here. So yeah, we now have that aspect. Cheats aspect. Awesome. Let's go back to the main town. Now I have some choices to make. Number one, can we use this amulet now? Uh-oh, is the game crashing? Again? It is. It's frozen at least. So I will say today, the game is completely smooth. I haven't had any kind of hitches or whatever. But we've already had one crash, and now it's freezing. So, we've never had any kind of crashing, freezing issues before, but we've had stuttering. Now I have no stuttering, but I have crashes and freezes. Well, at least it got to a loading screen, so it didn't crash, it just froze. Alright, so. I'm guessing from here on out, because we're just so high level, all of our amulets are going to require that legendary thing. First we check to see if we can do this without that. Yeah, so they all require that. Okay. Yeah, pick your poison D4 style. Yep. It's almost as if both those issues both come down to being online only or something, but surely that's not the case. Alright, so no matter what, that's that. Let's look at the new aspect that we just got. Cheats aspect. I don't think I'd put it on right now, but if it's cheap enough, I could. We could put it on our pants. And it's going to use the one rare. It's just not worth it right now. Is it the... Yeah, because I don't need the DR. We're playing on World Tier 1. If we have issues with DR, this would be a really good thing, since again, it's virtually 100% uptime. It just gives me another 15% DR. But right now, it's just not worth it because I don't have the crafting materials. But that's going to be great. That's going to be amazing. Alright, so. I still can't use the other legendaries. So, which of these things do I want? My current one is giving me the lucky hit. Everything else is just okay and is worth swapping out. So the new amulet is better stat-wise. The other amulet has the better lucky hit. But I have a worse version of the lucky hit here, so I still would get that. Let's see. This would give me damage and thorns and imbuement damage. You know what? I will take this. This is a pretty huge damage increase. So I will take this new one. This one we're going to keep in storage, because I can go ahead and take the legendary aspect off, since that's a very high roll for that. That's going to be fucking awesome. So we'll keep that. So what about this one? The one we were using. Oh, this is better thorns. It's better damage. So I lose the armor. That's okay. So we can get rid of that one then. Cool. So this is being kept in the chest. This we also no longer need. I'll verify, but like always, it's going to require that. Yes. So this we no longer need either. This has DR, and the other two we'll just ignore. So this has DR and a slot. So this is DR and armor versus damage and thorns. So defense versus offense, essentially. And for now, fuck it, I'll take the offense. Whatever. We'll get rid of that as well. This ring, I think I was going to go ahead and imbue. And this we're keeping for this stuff. Okay, so, let me verify. This ring has crowd controlled and vulnerable. I was waiting for a god roll. We're not going to get a god roll. This is a pretty decent roll. It's not really a semi-god roll. Or demigod, I guess I'd say. It's like whatever below demi... This is a demigod's kids roll. A demigod roll. And I think that's the best we're going to get without, you know, holding on to this ring forever.
Alright.
Let's see how expensive this is. 15,000 to take that off. They better not fuck me over. I feel they're gonna fuck me over and require a legendary to put it on the ring. It's gonna piss me off. I wish I could find out, but I can't find out until I do it. I know they're gonna do that to me. You know what? Fuck. I know they're gonna do that to me. I'm gonna take this off and find out I can't do this. I 100% guarantee it's gonna happen. So do I want to lose the 9% crit chance that's virtually always up? Because this is giving me 14% damage. Sure, I'll do it. Fuck it. It's okay. Extract the aspects. Okay. Now, I guarantee it's going to require a legendary component. Oh! It doesn't. Oh shit. Would you look at that? Okay, and there we go. We get damage on a demigod roll. But we also get the crazy crit chance. Fuck yeah. I'll take that. For 2 fucking rares and 2,000 gold? Hell yeah. I'm sold.
Good fortune that is.
Perfect. And now we can go ahead and upgrade that. Alright. Is it you upgrade this? Pretty decent increases, honestly. Do I want to upgrade it again? Nah. Again, I keep hoarding the rare materials. We don't need them, but like, yeah, playing it safe. Okay. So we can slot that in for armor, which works out. So we lost armor from our amulet, but gained armor from the ring. Otherwise, we gained a pretty good amount of extra damage now. Uh-oh. Once again, it froze. Give it some time. There you go. Alright. So first we'll put these back in there. And then I am doing this for the jewelry. There. I'm storing these for their aspects. So these 3 are for aspects. This one, I can't get rid of it. I guess I have to sell it. Because again, it's unfortunate, but this is exactly what I want to dismantle. But I can't dismantle it. I no longer need to keep this ring. And again, this is a potential alt helm, which we actually haven't gotten anything better yet. So I might actually end up using this. We'll see. We still can't use the fucking crowd control aspect, unfortunately. But one of these days, I will get a legendary piece of jewelry that I can dismantle. We got Chip Skull back. I didn't realize. That's what I was just saying at the beginning, where now there's no reason not to use gems, because if you dismantle something with gems, you get the gem back. But I don't even have to worry about it. Like in that case, I didn't even realize I dismantled something with the gem, because it doesn't matter. Okay. That is 2 aspects done. That's probably all we'll do today. Unless we go to like the region. Again, I know there's the region right here. I don't think there was one in this region that I wanted. Alright, so... continue to this second demon hunter. I'm running past like single enemies, but when there's a group, I fight them. I hate running past them, so that's my gimme. If there's like a multiple enemies, I will fight them. Yeah, leveling feels much better with tier 1. It's very unfortunate. Let's see. What is this called? This is the Shrouded Moors. Yep, nothing from the Shrouded Moors that I cared about aspect-wise. We don't care about fully unlocking the map. Oh, that guy is teleporting a little bit. Alright, let's check this event out.
You there? Please, help! You are a fool to trust me.
I'm not a fool. I'm a god. Massacre the bandits is the mastery. Okay, so just kill them in X amount of time, maybe? Easy. Okay. Let's see. This has moved all of a sudden down to here. So this might be another town. Sure is.
Saw that. Overgrown vermin's broke another trap.
Sorry, buddy. I'm not allowed to do side quests. Dev's made it too much experience. Right, don't care about any of this.
The whole forest has gone mad.
We're not going out there again.
Have you seen a demon pass through here?
There's a
What a
horned
question.
woman in the moors, spreading corruption, if that's what you mean.
Yes.
Yes. She's after the druids who vanquished Astaroth.
Ah, that madman Nefane lives out there. We already tried checking on him. Got as far as Boglinstone Circle, and then the druid's wolf companion appeared and bit one of my men. I'm already short on knights. Not going to risk what I have left on some bastard who hates the cathedral.
Why does he hate the cathedral?
Nefane sees us as intruders stealing from his land. But how does he expect us to survive? We need timber to build, ore to forge our weapons, wild game to eat. Truth is, I think his hatred for us goes back to Donan. They were friends once, but they had a falling out.
Okay. Those crazy druids. So what happened between those two?
Not sure, but I met the druid once. I was riding through the moors minding my own business when he came up and spoke in the beast tongue. Caused my horse to throw me. I broke my leg. Hasn't been the same since. I don't care what happened between them. I'm just glad Donan came to his senses and broke it off with that brute.
Alright. He is over here. About to hit 40. Is good. That's 2.5 hours that we got 2 levels right now. Come on, where'd you go? Oh, we got a seller. First seller of the day. Damn. Infested pitch. Definitely looks infested. And just like that, we're done. Nothing any good though. We only got one rare. Two apparently. Crit damage, crowd control, stunned. Nah. Let's find this crazy druid. Runic message. The stone is carved with a message welcoming travelers to the forest where they can become one with nature. Something that's been written over in dry blood. Cathedral dogs not welcome.
Easy, my friend. I'm not one of the knights. I'm looking for your master, Nafane. Think you could help me with that? Good boy. Lead the way.
Okay, you're supposed to lead the way. Alright, I leveled up. Good. I'll wait till we get there to level. Inarius is a pest. Okay. There's the invisible guy. There he is. Let's just bring him to the next group of enemies, probably. Right here, perfect. Alright, so he is killing the knights, like I said. He's actually killing the knights. That's how much he dislikes them. Okay, we got blood all over here. Oh! While I'm here really quickly, check this out. So he seems to be locked up in that tree there. I wonder who could have possibly done that. And also, are those groans of agony or pleasure?
Nafane? What? Who?
Oh, I even noticed his
Who are you?
torso has been cut in half. He has no, nothing below, like, his chest.
You stink of Dunan. He is not here. Coward! He feared Lilith might seek you out. He was right.
Yes. She put me here. I am beyond saving. All you can do for me is find the demon.
Alright.
I will help you. Go to the north. She is there, planning something. There is still time to stop her. Fearban will accompany you. Hurry!
Bearburn, that's the name. Is Wolf. Pretty cool name. Alright. Maybe anything for this? No. Alright, so we got the skill point. We'll go ahead and spend that in the last point of weapon mastery. Now after this, we have to decide. I can go back to getting what we had before. Trap mastery. So whenever I lay my trap down, once it's fully maxed out, I'll have 12% crit chance for 4 seconds. Otherwise, I mean, I could increase the damage of poison trap. I don't really need to. I'd rather take the passive over that. Long term, I can take the increased chill and frozen damage, but again, that's only after I take chill from Caltrops. So that would be 5 points right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting us at 46. So we'd have 4 free points. So if we put 3 in Trap Mastery, we'd have 1 free point elsewhere. And then, of course, if we do ultimates, then we'd have to swap other stuff. That's where Innervation might be nice. Again, that would be a way to get energy back against a boss, where I'm not getting kills. Oh, the 1 point could be here in the Poison Trap upgrade, which gives me a 30% chance to get my cooldowns for my imbuments reset. That would be 1 point. Obviously, I can do increased damage to knock down enemies, but that one's just not worth it, I feel like. I can make crits heal me. I don't think I need that either, so really it would be either the imbuments or Innervation. And then again, long term, the ultimates. I'd probably take out the Trap Mastery, since that's only 4 seconds of increased crit. So that'd be 3 points right there that I'd be able to spend, max out the line, and then I'd just need 4 more to max out the skill, which we take from somewhere. I'd see eventually. But okay. That's the plan for now. We'll go ahead and Rigid Finesse, Trap Mastery, and then get the Caltrops moving to Chill. So for now, I'll go for Trap Mastery, since again, I'm waiting to see about Caltrops, if it gets patched, if it's even considered a bug, which I think it is, that it replaces Slow with Chill. I know I saw the devs had a stream where they talked about changes in a very vague way. Like they have a huge 12-page major crazy patch that they're having planned, but they haven't announced obviously what's in it, nor a time frame or anything. It works out, because I'm not going to be getting the advantages of the cold combos until later, so that means that'll be the last thing I do is I'll convert Caltrops to cold damage and then get that. This will give me a long time of getting a good feel, which I already have, but a good feel for how Caltrops with slow works. Then I'll be able to just do the eye test of cold, because when I was briefly testing it, I feel like I was killing enemies so fast that, again, think of chill, ignoring the freeze aspect. Think of chill as a slow over time. I think I was killing them before they fully got to the slow status. So they were still faster than slowed before they died. Now, does that matter? No, because they're dying. But still, it's kind of the stuff I was noticing. Alright, so how do I do this? There they are. No, not there. Oh, they're down here. Look at the map. Down this way. I was busy talking and not paying attention. Follow me. Perfect. Now we go back. This chest, silent chest. Once again, oh, we finally got a rare. Alright, so just one rare. I went to buy some more keys. We're down to, I think, 4. I always want a good stockpile on me. Let me just do that. Oh no, I can't because I'd have to go back to the, yeah. Okay, imbuement, armor, energy, all decent, but I don't like what I have on right now. Distant, chill, dex, no. All right. Crimson Path. Okay. Build this mark.
Under old boughs hangs the heart fruit, swollen with hatred. Let it burst forth and flood the streams and burrows. In this crimson cradle, let there be born an amalgam of rage.
Fanny Rage? Uh-oh. That's not good. There's only like 1 to 2 enemies per group here. Not worth using my skills on.
Let its anger ever burn, until it has devoured the whole of this wretched land.
Close stays close, so 2 closes, which amounts to better than close, but then this has crowd control as well, and it has the slot, so no. Again, this is drastically more damage, which would really increase our base attack, but we don't care about damage for our basic attack, unfortunately. Because that's what, 16? Oh no, what is this? 17% close, as opposed to 13% close, 5%, so that's 18. So it's 17 versus 18, so I will say they are similar. But then you throw in the 7.5% crit damage, and that still makes it better. Alright. No, unfortunately, that doesn't have the barrage.
Nafane's blood. It all flows here.
Amalgam of rage cessation or gestation, okay. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Damage it. There we go. Oh, I meant to be poison, not
spawn of hatred. We have tender meat to hunt.
Damn it. Wounded, but not dead. Where's that creature gone?
Fangs of corruption. Alright, return to him. Alright, let's see. Thorns, poison trap, int. Does give armor, and it has 2 sockets. So I'm going to lose life and dodge chance in favor of poison trap and DR against crowd control and armor. What's intelligence? Intelligence is crit chance and resistance to elements, although it's going to be a very negligible amount. You know what? I think I'll make that swap. Just because right now a weak spot is crowd control. So sure. Don't need that. Alright. Okay. Is this considered a dungeon? No, it's not a dungeon.
I need more time.
Alright, Nefane. Oh shit, is this not the right way? The new zone, or new part of the zone. Yes. Okay.
No. She was already gone. And I fear she's taken a piece of you with her. A beast born from your blood.
It's my fault.
What part did you have in this?
A pact with Lilith.
Idiot.
To help me destroy the Night's.
Say both aligned with Lilith.
In return for what?
I told her where Astaroth is hidden.
So now she knows where he's hidden and how to disarm the traps.
Held high.
Why?
In her presence, I lost control. Rage consumed me. There's only one thing to do now. End the corruption.
Adios. Dog just lays down there. Oh, now he's sitting. Close enemies, vulnerable damage, slowed enemies. Okay. 3 of 4. Let's see how this compares. So, let me add up the numbers. 6 plus 7.5, so 13.5. So this is 18.5. That is 18. Okay, so that is 27.5 damage versus 18.5. Now, I am losing crit damage though. So would I rather have 7.5% crit damage or 9% more damage? I think just for the sake of it, I'll swap this out. Just so I can now more easily swap out other daggers without having to worry about it. We'll keep this dagger. Well, we don't need to keep it for the imbuement either. I can just get rid of it, I guess. Yeah, let's get rid of it. There. Now, I don't need to swap... Let me see that. That is vulnerable core. So that's 18. And that has crit damage. So 18 versus 18.5. Crit damage. Yeah, so I'll take the crit damage over the 0.5 difference. Yeah, I'm not stunning enemies. But they both had stun anyways. I will be chilling, but I'm not going to have this weapon by the time I am chilling. So... Alright, it's fine. So return to the keep. And this is where... Wow, so the keep is where they locked away the demon. Interesting. Not really a smart idea. Well, maybe, I mean, if you're keeping an eye on it, because you're living at the keep, I guess. But, you know, you could have told me that. I get the idea was to try to stop them from telling her first, but you also could have said, hey, by the way, eventually they're going to go to the keep. Alright, so the pants here I am swapping. So, I'll put the pants on right now, dismantle everything, and then go ahead and put those other things on.
Need something forged? That's good salvage.
Alright. So getting the armor, which is DR resist right here. No, not fortified. There, DR resist when crowd controlled. Just for now. Alright, 14% DR and crowd control. Perfect. And now, let me see here. Go buy some keys if I can afford them. I don't know how expensive they are. While I remember. Also, we're 40, I think it's 45 that we get the next potion upgrade. Yeah, 45. Alright. Whispering Keys, 20. Alright, so we can buy... I'll just buy 3 of them. Now we're back up to 6 keys.
Until next time.
Oh, really? So I had less than I thought. I thought we had 4 before, but we only had 3 before. So we definitely need to buy them. So far, it's not paying off, unfortunately. We've been getting either bad rolls or I don't know what. But I think of the, like, 4 or so chests we've opened, we've gotten 1 rare from them. Alright, so this is his manor. We're going to the keep down here.
What a waste of knowledge.
Killed someone right at the gate. Oh shit, it's been under attack, that's why. I was gonna say. Okay.
I'm not ready yet.
Again, crowd control can't do anything. Alright. Ooh, that means if there were side quests here, I wonder if that means I permanently missed them. Which doesn't matter other than the fact that it won't show me as having done all the side quests, which would bother the fuck out of me. Rapid fire, penetrating shot. Alright. I'm not sure if they're any here.
Blocked. I'll have to find another way inside.
Let's see, going down here. Pretty sure there were side quests here. Damn. Like 1,000 goat men.
You there! Come here!
Where's Donan?
The horned woman. The beast. Nothing could stop them. Not our steel, not our prayers.
Listen to me. I must find Donan. Where is he?
Somewhere inside. Dead, like the rest, for all I know. The light has forsaken this place.
Alright, well. Buried secrets. I guess really quickly, just because in case the game crashes while I'm in there, I have to restart it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so I will be right back. Now I think about it, it's not like the game was going to be more likely to crash when I went to the bathroom, but I don't know. I'm just like, I might as well go now. But whatever. Alright. Let's see, again, we have plenty of space. We can always use the portal. Humans up. I'm all the group up for me here.
I'm not ready yet.
Good. One demon's heart. That's when the knockdown also has the advantage. Sometimes I can't caltrop and like jump out of it, which I can then dodge. But the fact that they're knocked down means that even though I can't caltrop out of it, I'm still relatively safe for that 1.5 seconds. those two. And anything good here? Close, crowd control, frozen. Nah. I kind of need all of them for it to be replaced. There's a big old group. Okay. Bring you down here. Awesome. Bam. One lone survivor of the explosion. He dies to poison. Come on. Big poison moth. The fuck is that? He died, got like pulled down the hell. That was a cool animation that I don't know why it happened, but okay. Makes sense lore-wise, but maybe that always happens. You just don't really notice it. There's so many dying. Or maybe it's... I guess it makes sense, like, scripting-wise, that they would program that for, like, the last enemy alive. Sometimes has, like, a unique death animation. That'd be cool. Distant core, crit, dex. Core, crit, and dex are nice. And it has 2 slots. It's less core damage. I'd get like crazy crit damage because of the slots, but I'm fine because I'd also lose raw damage. Vulnerable, slow, overpowered dot. Dot again is fine. It's not really a priority, to be honest. I'm not really caring about dot damage. I'm more so caring about just putting a dot on them to increase damage while they're having a dot. But the vulnerability in slow is 23 plus 19. So that's 42. Whereas here, it's 15 plus 17. That's 32. But then you take into account the 17 crit, which this won't have. So 10% more damage versus 17 crit. This also increases raw damage, though. So, I think this is the swap. Because that's a pretty big increase in just pure damage there. Alright. Bam. Finally swapped that out. You know where this is. This is pretty much at the end. Back to like the beginning area, but now it's just blocked off. Alright, so here's
Cleanse these faithful servants of
Donan's
death's sin.
still alive somehow.
Bring them peace in death. Bloody miracle you made it here in one piece. Lilith and that beast tore right through us. Could have killed me too. But she left me untouched. She's toying with me.
Could be true, could be a lie.
Wants
Both
me
equally.
to watch her destroy everything I've built.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn it! Did you see Yorin the way you came?
Oops.
No.
She hasn't won yet. There's still a chance to stop her. But I can't do it alone.
Okay, so this is bad. His son's missing. So I think I know what's going to happen here.
I'm with you. Where is she now?
An old chamber beneath the keep. That's where Astaroth is. I didn't vanquish him like the stories say. I imprisoned him in a soul stone. It was a last resort. I built Eldheim over the stone to contain its evil. I've spent my life watching over it, keeping it a secret, so Astaroth would never hurt anyone again. Not even my son knows. I'm sorry for hiding this from you before, but I couldn't risk a stranger finding out the truth. We should get moving. Follow me.
I'm guessing Lilith kidnapped his son, and is going to use his son as a bargaining chip to make this guy do whatever she wants.
When was the last time you saw Yorin?
We were discussing what happened to Erida, and then Lilith stormed the keep. I ordered some guards to escort him out of Eldheim. I should have stayed with him.
Moldering, I'm guessing, bodies here.
One of Yorin's protectors.
One of the guardians doing an order to watch over Yorin.
My son's
This
guardians.
broken corpse.
Come, quickly. Yorin's mace is here. I told them to get out.
Maybe
Yep.
he and the Knights tried to stop Lilith. Could she have taken him somewhere?
Yep.
What possible reason would she have?
I
He means
wonder.
nothing to her.
Yeah.
We need to move. The way to Astaroth is through here.
What possible reason would she have to take his kid?
Why is Lilith so eager to find Astaroth?
I've been asking myself that same question, but I'm as much in the dark about it as you are, I'm afraid. They share a connection, though, and a strong one at that. Astaroth is a guardian of Lilith's father, Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred.
Maybe she's trying to find out how to, like, I don't know. I'll use the term resurrect because I don't know what else to say. Resurrect her father. Bring back her father, I guess we'll say. Or
Here
maybe
it
she's
is.
trying to force them to be, you know,
The Soul
her
Stone
minions
chamber.
now.
Lilith has what she wanted all this time. She took the stone. No sign of Yorin, though. We need to find him.
Mighty Astaroth. The charred Duke himself. Confined to a cage. What a pity.
Daughter of hatred.
I have an offer. You will grant me safe passage to a place I am no longer welcome. In exchange, I will give you freedom and more. Donan's progeny, his pride and joy, your retribution. If you give me what I want.
You will have safe passage.
Alright, well.
Was it another vision? Did you see Yorin?
Yes. He... Lilith stabbed him with the Soul Stone.
My son?
Yeah, probably put his soul into the sun.
I'm sorry, Donan.
This isn't over.
I know what I...
No! There's still time. You have to trust me. Meet me in the Great Hall.
So I was wrong about using the kid as a bargaining chip. Well, she did use it as a bargaining chip, but for the other guy. But still, we're going to have to fight the kid, who is no longer the kid. And Donan's probably going to refuse to believe it and fuck everything up. So Eridath and the Fang, they told Lilith about the stone.
Traitors. They did this to me. To my boy.
What do we do now?
We must find Yorin as quickly as possible. I realize how hopeless this all seems, but I've spent half my life studying the Soul Stone. I know its nature. It will take time for Astaroth to overpower my boy. I taught him well. Even now, he's resisting the demon's influence. They'll be close by. Karagar, perhaps. All those innocents to burn will excite Astaroth, make him fight harder to take control.
Lilith has what she wanted from Astaroth. Why would she linger here?
I don't know.
Exactly, it was a bargaining chip just with Astaroth and not Donan. So I was wrong, but I was actually right. I was right in the wrong way. Alright. First we'll go back here, because I have to get some gems in my new weapon. Just about to hit 41.